If you're a grower, you know the drill. The goal is always the same, right? Get the healthiest crops, the best quality, and the biggest yield possible. But it can feel like a constant battle with your own soil, where all those good nutrients can get locked up, just out of reach of your plants. Well, today, we're going to dive into a pretty cool solution designed to unlock all that potential. I mean, this is what we all want to see, isn't it? Fields and greenhouses just bursting with life. But we all know that from the moment you plant that seed, it's a journey filled with challenges. And a lot of times, the biggest hurdles are the ones you can't even see, these invisible nutrient deficiencies that are silently holding your crops back. So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You feel like you're doing everything by the book, but you're still seeing stunted growth, or the fruit quality just isn't there. Or maybe you're dealing with that dreaded navel rot on your tomatoes. It's super frustrating, and it almost always comes down to one thing. Your crops just aren't getting the food they need, even if it's right there in the soil. And that's exactly where a targeted solution like this comes in. Now, I know what you're thinking. EDTA CaK2 powder. That is a mouthful, so let's just break it down real quick. Think of EDTA as the special tech that protects the nutrients. K is calcium, and K2 is potassium. It's an organic fertilizer specifically built to get around those nutritional roadblocks and deliver the goods in a way your plants can actually absorb. So how in the world does it do that? To really get it, we need to geek out just a little bit on the science of absorption. We're going to look at how this powder is engineered to just bypass all those common soil problems and get those crucial nutrients right where they need to go. It really all boils down to two core features. First, you've got its amazing stability and absorption rate. That's the how it works. And second, you've got the sheer power of its dual nutrient combo. That's the what it delivers, both calcium and potassium, all in one package. Okay, so the secret sauce here is something called EDTA chelation. The easiest way to think about it is like a personal bodyguard for each nutrient. See, in regular soil, nutrients can get tied up with other elements, making them useless to the plant. This EDTA bodyguard wraps around the calcium and potassium and basically escorts them safely right to the plant's roots. And here's the huge part. It works in almost any soil, from super acidic to super alkaline. We're talking a pH range of 3 to 10. That's incredible versatility. And that brings us to the 1-2 punch of nutrition. First, you've got calcium. This stuff is like the cement for plant cells. It makes them strong, which means less fruit cracking and fewer issues like navel rot. Then, at the exact same time, you're getting potassium. Think of potassium as the engine for quality. It helps pack in the sugars, pumps up the fruit size, and even makes the whole plant tougher against stress like drought or a cold snap. It's the perfect combo, especially during those critical growth stages. All right, so the science is definitely cool, but what does this actually mean for you day to day? Let's switch gears and talk about some real-world situations and how you can put this stuff to work. This is the key question for any grower, isn't it? How do I actually use this thing to get results? Well, the great news is it's designed to be super flexible. You've got options. If you need a fast fix for a problem you're seeing right now, like bitter pit in your apples, a foliar spray gets those nutrients absorbed super quickly. For more of a steady, long-term feeding plan, it's perfect for your drip irrigation system. And here's a game changer. It's compatible with most pesticides. You can mix them right in together, which can save you a ton of time and labor. That's a huge win. And it's not just flexible in how you use it, but what you use it on. It's a rock star for fruits and veggies that really need that calcium. We're talking tomatoes, peppers, grapes, you name it. It's also fantastic for leafy greens like lettuce to stop that annoying leaf edge scorch. And it even helps out big-time cash crops like cotton by making them more resilient. Of course, none of this really matters if you can't trust the quality or the safety of what you're using. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the actual data behind the powder. So this right here is the product's report card. It's certificate of analysis. Don't let your eyes glaze over. Look at that first line for potassium. The guarantee is at least 19%, but the typical batch actually gives you 19.6%. You're getting more than you paid for. And you see that all the way down. The typical analysis, what's actually in the bag, consistently meets or beats the guarantee. That's the kind of reliability you need. And I want to zoom in on this one number because it's a really big deal. The water-insoluble matter is just 0.01%. That is incredibly pure. What that means for you is that this stuff dissolves completely. No gunk, no residue, and no clogged irrigation lines or spray nozzles. It just works every single time. And of course, we have to talk safety. First off, it's a chlorine-free formula. That is so important for protecting those delicate roots on sensitive crops that can get fried by chlorides. And what's more, the EDTA itself is degradable. It breaks down in the environment, which means a low residual risk. That's a big win for you and a big win for sustainable farming. So if we boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's pretty simple, really. By using some smart technology to enhance absorption and delivering that powerful dual punch of calcium and potassium, you get a direct path to healthier, stronger, and more resilient crops. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. When you can finally get past those hidden nutrient roadblocks and give your plants exactly what they're hungry for, right when they need it, what new potential, what new level of quality could you unlock in your next harvest?